We're making easy overnight oats inspired by the flavors of a Snickers candy bar. They're high in protein powder with oats, protein powder, and cottage cheese. Then they're topped with maple sweetened peanut butter, your favorite chocolate chips, and crunchy peanuts. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla, and if you love healthier versions to our favorite recipes, then you are in the right place. Now, to add protein and creaminess to these overnight oats, I love using cottage cheese. Now, you might be wondering about that curdled cottage cheese texture, but don't worry, we're going to blend it smooth with our milk so that it is undetectable. But you could also use Greek yogurt instead. But the yogurt is going to have a little more tang to it, so you might have to add a little bit more sweetener to have a sweet flavor. So in my blender cup, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk, and I'm just using almond milk, but you could use any variety that you like. Now, you're welcome to jot down these ingredients as we go along, or you can click on the recipe link, which is in the video description below, which has all the details. Next, we're going to add 1/2 cup of cottage cheese. Slight little splatter there. Next, to add a little bit more protein, we're going to use some protein powder. And I like using this vanilla protein powder because it's made with vegetables and nuts and seeds. And you can use any powder that you like. Just make sure you like the flavor of it. And I've included a link in the description if you'd like to check this one out. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of protein powder. And for a little natural sweetness, I'll add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. I'll screw on the lid, throw it on the base, and then I'll just mix this for about 30 seconds or until smooth. And now it is smooth and creamy with no trace of cottage cheese. Then you'll want to take an airtight jar or bowl, and I'm just going to pour the milk right inside. Now for the oats, you could use either old-fashioned or quick oats. I really like using the old-fashioned because I like the slightly bigger grain. So I'm just going to add 1 cup of oats and about 2 pinches of salt. Now I'll just stir all together with a spatula and screw on the lid. And then this is ready to go into the fridge either overnight or at least for about 2 hours. So here's one that I made last night, and you can see how it's all creamy and well incorporated. And you can see how the oats and powder just soaked up all the cottage cheese and the milk. Now we can set this aside. Now for the peanut butter, I like to use unnatural, unsweetened peanut butter, and you could use either creamy or crunchy. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons to a small bowl. And this is optional, but I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup just to sweeten it up a little. And then I'll just stir these together until smooth. Now that looks perfect. Now for the chocolate, you have 2 options. First of all, you can use any chocolate variety that you like. Now you can either sprinkle in your chocolate chips right into the overnight oats, or if you want to make it a little more fancy, we can melt these down with a little bit of coconut oil. So I have 3 tablespoons of mini chocolate chips, and I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of coconut oil. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for about 25 seconds, then take it out, give it a quick stir, put it back into the microwave for about another 25 seconds, and then take it out, and it should be melted enough that as I stir it, it will become nice and smooth. So after 2 intervals of 25 seconds, this chocolate is nice and warm. And I'm just going to stir it until all the little pieces are melted down. Ooh, that looks good. Now that we have our oats and our peanut butter and our chocolate and some crunchy peanuts, we can assemble our Snickers Overnight Oats. Now you can do this however you like, but I like to do it in 2 layers. So I'll add 1 nice big scoop of my oats. And using a clear jar just means I can see all the layers. Then I'll add a scoop of the peanut butter. And if you push it out to the sides, you can see it against the glass. Then I'll drizzle in a little bit of chocolate and then repeat. And this recipe will give you enough for 2 servings. And I'll sprinkle on a few crunchy peanuts on top. And then we have some very delicious looking Snickers-inspired overnight oats. If you could use more healthy inspiration on a regular basis, I invite you to join my email list. All you have to do is click on the link in the video description below, and that is the best way for us to stay connected. And it is time for a sample. That is a delicious fusion of Snickers and oats. As soon as you bite in, you get that creamy texture from the oats and the cottage cheese, and I love that vanilla flavor that's coming in from the protein powder. And then you get the swirl of peanut butter and the chocolate, and then getting that crunch of peanut with it is so good. It gives all the candy bar satisfaction, but I love knowing that it's made with clean, natural ingredients, which means I'm going to feel just as good even after I eat it. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe, and it's in the video description below, which takes you to my website, gentletommie.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I cannot wait to have you join me again in my kitchen.